Hello there, my name is Austin Inyang. Here on the Lagos Transportation Agenda, we highlight current events, explore topical issues, and anticipate emerging trends in the dynamic world of transportation in Lagos State, Nigeria, and beyond. Central to the quest of the Lagos State government to drive economic development through transportation and other areas of development is the Lagos State Ministry of Transportation. How is the Lagos State Ministry of Transportation helping to redefine transport operations in a 21st century megacity such as Lagos? To discuss this and other related issues with me on the show today, I have the Director of Transport Operations here in the Lagos State Ministry of Transportation in the person of Engineer Olasukanmi Ojowuro. Welcome to the show, sir.
Thanks for having me.
All right. The Director and I will be discussing ways in which the Lagos State Ministry of Transportation is helping to redefine transport in the 21st century megacity such as Lagos, when the Lagos Transportation Agenda returns after this time out. Please stay with us.
Great economies are built on good transportation network. This is why Lagos State Government through LAMATA has been working tirelessly to enhance the state's transport infrastructure and implement the Strategic Transport Master Plan (STMP) for Lagos and create a world-class transport network for the metropolis. The STMP would deliver 6 rail lines, 1 monorail, 14 BRT routes, 26 water transport routes, 3 cable car routes, and several road interventions to promote the integration of the transport modes. When all these projects are completed, there will be lower emission, leading to better health for all, lower road crashes, better quality of life, and faster economic growth. With the BRT already running in some corridors, jetties being upgraded, and rail line from Okokomaiko to CMS coming on board soon, life of Lagosians in the face of Lagos is changing every day. A healthier and more prosperous Lagos is in the making, and LAMATA is driving it. LAMATA, keeping Lagos moving.
Welcome back on the Lagos Transportation Agenda. Engineer Olasukanmi Ojowuro is my guest. He is the Director of Transport Operations here at the Lagos State Ministry of Transportation. Engineer, just give us an overview of the key mandates of your department, in line with the overall goal of the ministry in particular and the government in general.
Well, I want to say thank you again once more, and I want to commend you for programs like this because it will help the citizenry, Lagosians, to really understand and be part of the transformation that is taking place in the state.
Yes.
First of all, in the vision of Mr. Governor, who has the team's agenda, which has transportation, traffic management and transportation as the first pillar. We in Ministry of Transportation have the purview to drive the team's agenda, because if you look at the T drives the other pillars: health, security, environment, and what have you. Because you would have to commute from your house to the hospital if you are sick.
Exactly.
Before you go to this studio now, you have to come by one means of transportation or the other. Exactly. And we know that transportation is the heart of any economy. When transportation moves, other sectors thrive. So our ministry is to ensure that we have an integrated intermodal transport system that will support the economy of the state. That's to ensure that people move from point A to point B seamlessly.
Exactly.
When we're able to do that, we know automatically that the ease of doing business will be promoted.
Exactly.
And the GDP, from the state will improve.
Wow. Well, I can imagine that given such a huge and lofty mandate, you will have certain challenges, operational challenges, especially you're an engineer. Therefore, I know that a lot of your concern will be on the infrastructure, the effectiveness of infrastructure in delivering the outcomes you just talked about. What are those key challenges that you would say are trying to militate against the smooth functioning of your duties, and how have you been able to overcome them?
Well, some of the challenges that we have is not peculiar to transportation alone. We know that there is the paucity of funds, and the state has to spend resources on health, environment, agriculture. So
they are competing demands.
Yeah, competing demands. So we just have to make do with what we have to get the best out of it. So out of the resources that we have or it's made available to us, we still manage to achieve our goals or our targets.
Exactly.
So we have issues with funding, but we know that it's a general problem.
Yes.
The orientation of the people also matters. There's this Carmania orientation that everywhere I have to go, if I'm a car owner.
Okay, that's what you mean by car.
Carmania.
Carmania. I was trying to get whether it's a Latin word. Okay.
Yes, I have to drive my car. So
yes, it's a status thing, isn't it?
Yes. I mean, it's our mentality that if I want to go to the church or the mosque, which is maybe 2 streets away from my house, I'll put my car on the road. And that contributes to congestion.
Exactly.
So we are working on the psyche of Lagosians that, well, if there are means by which you can travel, especially short travels, without having to put your car on the road, please try and make use of other non-motorized means of transportation, just like walking, cycling, skating, and what have you. So we have to deal with that because the more the vehicles on the road, the more issues we have to deal with: breakdowns, accidents, traffic robbery, and what have you.
Exactly. Now, the buzzword, of course, which you have already used in your earlier response these days is integrated, intermodal, and so on. How would you assess the progress that has been made so far in ensuring, let's say in terms of percentage of what you aim to achieve in the short, medium, and long term? How are you able to assess what's been achieved so far in actualizing intermodal integrated transportation?
Well, I know you want to box me into a corner by saying that I should give you a percentage,
Not at all.
but at the same time, Mr. Governor Babajide Sanwo-Olu has done very well in ensuring that intermodal transport, is achievable, and we are on course. Now, for the first time in West Africa, we'll be having a terminal or a transit hub that will include 3 modes of transport. One is at Marina,
yes,
and one is at Mile 2. That you could change from one mode to the other. You can come on BRT from wherever, maybe Yaba, you get there. You can try to go by water from Marina to VI,
yes,
or Apapa. And you could choose to even use the rail. So you can see that there are 3 modes, intertwined into that, transit hub there.
Exactly.
And
without any intervening inconveniences here and there.
And you know, that's key. They will call it smooth transition from one means of travel or mode of travel
remarkable
to another.
Yes. Before we go on break, I just take you up on something you mentioned, and again, I make mention of this because of your being an engineer. You talked about alternatives like cycling to using vehicular transportation and skating and all that. There are some people who would say that the reason why that has not been so common in our cities is because of safety. They need to compete on the road with vehicular traffic, and in a competition between a car and a bicycle, we know who would win. So what do you say to those who voice such objections?
Well, we cannot condemn those who voice such objection, because you wouldn't advise anybody to take a suicidal step. What the government is doing now is to ensure that all road infrastructure includes the means of transportation for the non-motorized. That is, you have cycling lanes, you have lanes for pedestrians, and for maybe those who may be physically living with physical disabilities. So if you go around, you will see that the recent road infrastructures now have been made to cater for that. Because when you say road users, you're not talking of the motorists alone.
Exactly.
You're also referring to other non-motorized road users. Exactly. It will be the cyclists, it will be the pedestrians. Of course, we'll start from somewhere before we get to anywhere. So the government has made sure that the design must include, infrastructure for non-motorized use. 1. 2, we partnering with non-governmental organizations who are into, a cycling foundation. Who are, coming up with their own ideas as per how to really boost non-motorized transport, especially cycling. They advise us, and we take their input, including our own policy. And the policy of the transportation policy that will be out soon, encompasses all this, means of transportation, and key considerations have been given to the safety of cyclists. Besides, we need road furniture more than what we have now. To say this is a cycling lane, you shouldn't go there.
Exactly.
And traffic signal lights that will also, give priority to pedestrians. So all this we are, putting into perspective.
Wonderful. Very progressive. Very progressive. Well said. We'll go on break now, and when we return, we'll continue our discussion with Engineer Olasukanmi Ojowuro, Director of Transport Operations here at the Lagos State Ministry of Transportation. Please stay with us.
Great economies are built on good transportation network. This is why Lagos State Government through LAMATA has been working tirelessly to enhance the state's transport infrastructure and implement the Strategic Transport Master Plan (STMP) for Lagos and create a world-class transport network for the metropolis. The STMP would deliver 6 rail lines, 1 monorail, 14 BRT routes, 26 water transport routes, 3 cable car routes, and several road interventions to promote the integration of the transport modes. When all these projects are completed, there will be lower emission, leading to better health for all, lower road crashes, better quality of life, and faster economic growth. With the BRT already running in some corridors, jetties being upgraded, and rail line from Okokomaiko to CMS coming on board soon, life of Lagosians in the face of Lagos is changing every day. A healthier and more prosperous Lagos is in the making, and Lamata is driving it. Lamata, keeping Lagos moving.
If you're just joining, this is the Lagos Transportation Agenda, and my guest has been Engineer Olasukanmi Ojowuro of the Lagos State Ministry of Transportation. Engineer, of course, one cannot really talk about transportation without effective traffic management. Give us an overview of how your ministry coordinates the work of agencies like LASMA, VIS, etc., to ensure not just efficiency and timely delivery of outcomes, but also, avoid duplication of duties between this and that agency.
The Ministry of Transportation superintends, the activities of other agencies, within its purview, like LASMA, VIS, and some other, agencies. What we do here is that the directives emanate from the ministries, from the ministry rather, and for those directives to work and for it to be implemented, my department, Transport Operations, ensures that control and management to ensure that we don't have duplication. For example, every agency in the transportation family knows its duties. LASMA is for free traffic flow. We are able to manage our own affairs, so that such duplication does not occur. And oftentimes, the ministry, that is my department, Transport Operations, intervene when we see that there's a gap or there's an urgent need to be taken care of.
So that leads to my question and your synergy with other ministries as far as using transport to ensure that all other aspects of the government's work also go on smoothly. Just briefly.
Yes. Yes. The Ministry of Transportation cannot effectively, deliver its mandates without collaboration with sister ministries or agencies, and that is in place. For example, Ministry of Works and Infrastructure. We have an understanding now that before a road is constructed, we should have an input before, during the design, during construction, and thereafter.
That as we round up, let me take you back to something you also mentioned about the private sector. Lagos is the hub, the commercial hub, not just of Nigeria, but of the entire sub-region of West Africa. So one can imagine that, one can envisage that the private sector would, either want to play a far greater role than normal, or already playing that role. So can you just give us an overview of, say, your intermodal transport system? How exactly is the private sector playing a role in this particular, aspect of your work, this very important aspect of your work?
In as much as you meet up with the requirements, for, water transportation, they are onboarded and they are managed, because we all know that Lagos government will not be able to provide the total number of boats needed to ferry people on water.
Yes.
For the bus scheme, private sector participants come around to, they allocated buses. There's an arrangement with Lamata.
Okay.
And they allocated those buses. They run the buses. Some of those arrangements are, maybe a lease.
Yeah, on lease basis.
They have, financial plan on how to, for repayment and for, sustainability.
Exactly.
And I may not be able to talk much about the rail because that's not started.
It's
but
still in its...
the state might eventually have an operator.
Okay. Okay.
To operate the rail while the state is in charge of the infrastructure. But we still expecting the particular module that will suffice, or the direction of Mr. Governor on that. I can talk about other private sector participation that my department has driven, the ministry has driven. Okay. Like the Asiwaju Bola Ahmed Tinubu truck transit park at Orilegon. Okay. It's a PPP arrangement with a concessionaire. The government has concessioned 31 hectares of land to be developed for truck park. And then when we say truck park, we're going to include both dry cargo and wet cargo. And about 11 hectares has been developed, and it's been linked to the e-collop system. And the target is the congest Apapa. Okay. The congest Apapa Tinkan area, and that some 3.5 years ago it was commotion all the way, but exactly. The problem has abated. Yes, abated, because we have an efficient collop system. But that park is being run by a private sector in conjunction with the state. And even in enforcement, we have consultants who are handling the ITS, Intelligent Transportation System. Our enforcement has gone, has gone technology-wise. Yes. And I want to say that the ministry, the state is ready to welcome further collaboration, because, by so doing, part of the burden will be taken away from
and still the desired outcome will still be achieved. Sure. Well said, Engineer Olasukanmi Ojowuro. Thank you so much for having the time. I know how busy you guys are here, so any time you make out to speak with us we don't take it for granted, but well appreciated.
I'm grateful. Thank you too for having me.
I thank you too for watching. I hope you join me next week at this time for yet another interesting discussion on the Lagos transportation agenda. Until then, this is Austin Yang saying take care. Bye-bye. God bless.
Great economies are built on good transportation network. This is why Lagos State Government through LAMATA has been working tirelessly to enhance the state's transport infrastructure and implement the Strategic Transport Master Plan (STMP) for Lagos and create a world-class transport network for the metropolis. The STMP would deliver 6 rail lines, 1 monorail, 14 BRT routes, 26 water transport routes, 3 cable car routes, and several road intervention to promote the integration of the transport modes. When all these projects are completed, there will be lower emission, leading to better health for all, lower road crashes, better quality of life, and faster economic growth. With the BRT already running in some corridors, jetties being upgraded, and rail line from Okokomaiko to CMS coming on board soon. Life of Lagosians in the face of Lagos is changing every day. A healthier and more prosperous Lagos is in the making, and LAMATA is driving it. LAMATA, keeping Lagos moving.